Hi, let me tell you a little bit about my winemaking philosophy. Each winemaker has his own philosophy, and the differences are what make the different styles of wine. All winemakers start with grapes in a vineyard, and we're going to try to usher them into the bottle. And between the vineyard and the bottle, there are many, many decisions that need to be made. And each winemaker is going to approach many of those decisions in a slightly different fashion. So my philosophy is, most of my decision making is in the vineyard. It's on crop level, it's on shading of the plants or opening the canopy up. Those are all the things that are going to give me what I think is the optimal amount of fruit coming into the winery. If the fruit coming into the winery is not good enough, I can't make it into a better wine. So the vineyard is a key component. But once it gets into the winery, that's where my day-to-day decision-making takes place. And there's many decisions. From the day that we pick to harvest, that's probably the most important one. Did we pick at the optimal maturity level? But after that is, how do we ferment it? At what temperatures do we ferment it? Do we use native yeast? Do we use inoculated yeast? Do we cold soak this fruit for an extended period for extraction, or do we start the fermentation immediately? Every winemaker's got his own little tweak on this, and I have mine. And I think that what I've learned over the years is that there can't be a formula. I have to treat every single lot of wine separately. And if I go into it with preconceived ideas, it really doesn't work very well. So as the grapes come in, I've done a couple things in preparation. I've picked out what barrels I'm going to use and some things like that, because there's a 5-month lead time on that. But after that, once the grapes are here, it's a day-to-day decision. Quite often it's even hour to hour. Do I raise the temperature on the tank? Do I lower the temperature on the tank? Did we use an inoculated yeast or native yeast? Are we going to let it sit post-fermentation for a little while? These are all the things that end up developing a style of wine. And I believe that I do have a style of wine, and it crosses whether I'm making Pinot Noir or making Sauvignon Blanc or Syrah, Chardonnay, it doesn't matter. All these decision makings start to shift the wine into my style. So if you go ahead and look at the wines that I've made, you'll see my thumbprint on those wines.